Yo guys, yo guys, yo guys, it is Red Marvel here, back again with another anime movie review. Back to the Seven Deadly Sins, one of my most favorite animes on Netflix. I think this was released on Japanese Netflix a few months back, but it's on UK Netflix here. I'm giving a review now. Before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, like, share, and subscribe to Red Marvel. We're also on Twitch and Twitter. Links are in the description, so make sure you follow me on those. But yeah, guys, it's obviously a spoiler review for the Seven Deadly Sins, Cursed by Light. And I've got to say, for me, this was the best kind of Seven Deadly movie or season. Yeah, I guess, certainly compared to the previous movie. But you could also make an argument that even compared to the last season, this kind of was a nice... I think this, for me, this movie is what was missing from the end of season 5. Okay, this was a nice kind of epilogue, kind of linking them and giving us a point as to what's going on in the future, almost dropping a few hints regarding, Merlin and Arthur, Chaos and what have you. But it was a nice epilogue, a nice wrap up to the whole Holy War thing, and it was just good. Obviously, this whole thing starts with the demon realm essentially being attacked by this kind of unknown force. And you find out that it's like later in the movie that it's like a giant and like a fairy that basically are attacking the demon realm, and they keep on saying, and they have a control over like an army, and they keep on saying, you guys responsible for ruining the Holy War. You ruined the Holy War. We ruined the Holy War. I need to take my revenge on the Seven Deadly Sins and the Holy Knights who effectively ruined the Holy War. And they keep on kind of saying that as if they're controlled. But the whole thing starts, and one of the things I like about this movie is the kind of, they focus really on the brotherhood behind Meliodas and Zeldris. That the fact that obviously Zeldris, that doesn't really see Meliodas as a brother because they treat him like garbage for most of his life. And that kind of reconciliation, I think, was actually really, really good to see between those guys. Because Zeldris reminds me of Shadow, even design of Shadow the Hedgehog. This kind of now anti-hero badass, doesn't want to reveal his feelings type of thing. But when he does to the girl that he likes, it's kind of like, whoa, So obviously, he's on his honeymoon in preparation for the Demon King, and Meliodas is on his honeymoon in preparation to be king of Leonis. So they were both doing their thing. They kind of meet up. They hear the disturbance of what's going on in the demon realm, and they're kind of summoned back because a demon that survived from being attacked comes to say, guys, we need your help, basically. Separate to that, the likes of King, the likes of Diane, the likes of Ban, etc., they're all busy. Obviously, I think they're attending Thingy's wedding, because obviously King and Diane are getting married. Where this takes place in the timeline, just to say in the timeline, is this looks like it's after season 5. This impression I get, because Merlin is basically not with the group at all. They say it says 7 Deadly Sins, but it's out of 5 because Escanor is basically dead, obviously from Spoliers, from the battle with the Demon King afterwards. So he's not there, he's not present, and Merlin and Arthur are not with the group. They're elsewhere. They get confronted with the giants. You don't really you see them for a bit where they get confronted with giants, but then you don't see them until the end. So presumably they dealt with them, especially because when they clip to Arthur and they're like, you see just these skulls. This grave would have just skulls us when you're like, what? And you're just like, it's just weird. It's like, what's happened to Arthur? What's going on? Is the chaos that he consumed from Kath, is that like turning him evil, bad? I don't know. It's weird, but anyway, you get the Holy Knights, Gil and so on. That they come involved because the giants and the fairies, the allies of attack them, but they're clearly under control, under spell. Fast forward to Meliodas and Zeldris. They go to Demon Realm. They find, I think it's the second Fairy King and Dubs, Diola and Dubs, the second Fairy King, and they're basically the giants craftsmen, basically angry, that the Holy War was disrupted by these guys. And you're constantly sort of told, like, Meliodas constantly like, this doesn't make sense though. This doesn't make sense. Like, yes, Dahlia's with a fighter, but Dubs is not a fighter. Like, what's going on? Like, why are they doing this? It's just, it doesn't make sense. And even when you're watching it, they just keep on saying, "You ruined the Holy War. You ruined the Holy War. That's it." There was nothing. There was no expansion on that really, and that's what they do. So eventually, although they got beat down and Meliodas got locked up away in a dimension, Meliodas comes, rescues Meliodas, and basically they take on the Dubs and Dahlia, the Giant King, and the Fairy King, the Giant Craftsman. They beat them, and then they like disappear, and you're like, what's going on? Because all the allies, the Fairy King, their giant and fairy allies that were attacking the human realm, and Leonis just basically just go back to being normal. And the remainder of the 7 deadly sins, as well as like what's going on, the light, they don't understand. And that's when you find out, you switch to the angel realm, and you see Mile, who's basically like comes back, to the angelic realm. It's like, yeah, I'm back, I'm okay, things are good. They want him to be a leader of this thing, and then you find out that, and then it switched to a scene where Mile is seen fleeing the angelic realm, and you find out quickly that the person behind all of this is the supreme deity. And that was mad. That was mad for me, because to be honest, for a lot of season 5 and 4, when we kind of got the backstory behind the Demon King on one side and the Supreme Deity on the other side, I was always like, where the hell is the Supreme Deity? Why isn't the Supreme, especially when the angels came in, what is the Supreme Deity doing? Like, if the Holy War is something that has to be maintained, so has to go on, why it was the Supreme Deity in combination with the Demon King that put the curse on the guys in the first place? Why? Where is she? But she just turns up here, so because it's weird, because on the one hand it's like, okay, I'm sure she was happy the Demon King was defeated, but on the other hand it's like, I wanted Demon King to be defeated, but I also didn't want peace, so it's a weird kind of thing. It's like so it's almost like I want him to be defeated, but then the next Demon King comes and also continues it, so it's almost like she wants that continuous conflict. And obviously with Meliodas rescuing Zeldris' girl, he wanted to step away from that perpetual conflict. Obviously Mai coming back to angels, so there's then a peace here, and the Supreme Deity was happy with that. She basically crushes the remaining 7 deadly sins that are there, i.e. Ban, King, Diane, Gopher, and the Holy Knights that are there as well. Crushes them, absolutely crushes them, and they struggle, and she's kind of like, oh yeah, so you ruined the war, and she says something which is quite interesting, where she says, this whole thing was to maintain balance. Like, you don't know what you've done. Like, the whole point of this Demon King War is that it's to maintain a balance, and you disrupt the balance and chaos will reign, which was a very interesting. Eventually, fast forward now, keeping that, Meliodas and Zeldris come in to save the day, and they tag team, and they end up beating, the Supreme Deity, destroying her, wiping away. I must confess, I guess it's only an hour 20 minutes, and there's a lot to this, but I did think that last final fight was a bit rushed, considering that we've never seen the Supreme Deity at all. Like, the Demon King has had like seasons to build up to get to his strength, and we've never seen the Supreme Deity at all, and effectively 20 minutes she's gone, just like that. And it's like, maybe expect a bit more resistance, a bit more, I know that now, obviously, in terms of power levels, Zeldris and Meliodas are higher, because obviously them surviving purgatory, beating the Demon King, absorbing the power, so they are obviously at a higher power level. But I guess I just expected a bit more resistance, really. The final fight did feel a bit rushed, in my opinion. But that's my only complaint, So, and also, it just would have been good to see the Supreme Deity in season rather than just in a movie, But obviously now, no Demon King, no Supreme Deity, and the end of the movie wraps with everyone obviously going on separate way, but they zone in on Merlin and Arthur, and Merlin saying in particular that the age of gods is over, the age of chaos begins, you know, and they bring back to Arthur looking at those skulls again. And I think it's interesting. So it's almost like one chapter of the seven deadly sins is over in regards to you know, the age of the gods, as it were. I think that's done. But I'm very interested to see where they go for this chaos thing, because it's clear to me that Merlin and Arthur, at least from my looking at it, looks like they might be going down a particularly dark path, and it'll be interesting to see where that leads. Overall, I thought it was a very good movie, a very good epilogue to the seven deadly sins. I would probably give it a solid 4 stars out of 5. Make sure that you watch it. You know, it's a nice goodbye to the seven deadly sins for now. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Marvel. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch. Have a nice day, everyone, and cheers.